I just saw this video on Aescripts where we have this plugin called Arc. So looking at the plugin, we can see that all it really does is you can just have a set of keyframes and then you choose the easing mode that you want, and you just use the slider to control the amount of easing. So let's see whether it's possible to recreate this using AI. So I'm using Bing AI, which is actually based off ChatGPT 4, and it's free for use. I'm going to use the more precise option. I'm not sure whether it works, but I'm hoping that it gives me a more precise coding experience. Firstly, I will just ask Bing AI to write me an After Effects script to adjust selected keyframes easing. Let's see what Bing AI gives us. So it takes a while for it to respond. So just going to let it do its thing, and then let's see what it comes up with. Cool. Okay, so it's already starting to write the script, and it's giving us a few lines of code over here. So I'll just let it finish first, and then let's see what we can do with this. All right, so it looks like it has finished writing, and yeah, we got a few lines. So we can see that it tells us to get the selected layer, get the selected properties on the layer. Then after, define the amount of easing and using this new keyframe ease. And then after, look through the selected properties and find the selected keyframes. So in the case, if I'm looking at position, then it should be searching for the keyframes on the position. And then later apply the easing to each of the selected keyframe. Okay, so let's take a look and see how this works. I'm going to copy all the code. Okay, so here I am in After Effects, and what I have is just a square, which I've just created with a shape layer. And I've added a keyframe on the position so that can animate from left to right. And you can see from the animation, it's just linear animation. There is no easing at all. So if I take my script, and how I'm going to run it is I'm going to use this plugin called Molcode, because this allows me to execute the script directly in After Effects. So I don't need to use an external editor such as Visual Studio Code. Right, so with that, I will just paste my script in here from Bing AI. And so I need to select the keyframes. Then I can execute this code. Look at that. So I have some easing on my square. If I want to change the easing, so I should be changing this number. Maybe instead of 90%, I'm going to change to like maybe 50%. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to select again and get rid of this line. Execute. Okay, and now if I play, yeah, the easing is now different. Okay, so let me just double check. I'm going to open the graph editor. So this is the current curve. If I select it, let's change it to 100% and execute. Now you can see the easing has changed. And this is the animation we get. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So now the function works, and pretty much that is the script. So you can see that it's very usable, and it's very easy to generate a script that can do a simple easing animation like this. Now the next step I think is let's create a user interface for it, because I'm not going to change the code every time I want to have a different number. So I prefer to have like a slider UI. So very similar to this Arc plugin, where we want to have this like a slider, and then we can also press the button and then we can execute this. So let's try doing that. So what I'm going to do now is I will tell this AI to maybe change the script so that I can have a user interface to change the amount of easing. So let's run and let's see how does Bing AI adjust this script now. All right, so I think from what I can see is creating a user interface. It's creating a window. Then we add a slider. And then we have a button to apply the easing. So this is exactly what we're looking for. And this is the same code that you was using just now. Then finally it shows the window. All right, it's done. So let's copy this and let's go back into After Effects. Okay, so I'm now back in After Effects, and first we get rid of the previous script. And also I'm going to reset my animation back to linear. So let's give it a check. So I'm going to just paste the new script. Yeah, so it's a bit longer. And now I will execute it. And wow, look at that. So we have this UI called Easy Control, and allows us to apply the easing currently set at 90. And then we have a button that you can apply this easing. So now let's give it a try. Let me change back to graph mode. And you can see that it's a linear animation. Let's select the keyframes and let's adjust to maybe 50% and apply the easing. Nice. So it's working. Awesome. Okay, let's select again. Let's move it to 100. Apply the easing and it works. If we want to have a different amount of easing, I can try maybe select the first keyframe, set it to maybe 30%. Then we get that. Then the second keyframe, then we leave it at 100%. So now we have this animation. So we can change the different amount. Say I put at 80%, and this one I put at 30%. I'll get this. Yeah, I think this is a very useful script. And you can see how easy is it to generate this kind of script. I didn't need to write any code at all. All I need to do was just ask Bing AI to write a few lines for us. And we can create this script very easily in like, how long was that? Maybe less than 10 minutes. Okay, so if, of course, if you take away all my talking, it's probably like 5 minutes only. So what I'll do is I'll probably adjust this script so that we can have a better looking interface. And then I will upload onto my website, which I will link in the description below. Then you can just download it and you can use it for your own project also. So of course, I give credit where credit is due. I think this plugin is still a very useful plugin. And besides the one that I've just created, this one also gives you some presets for different kind of easing methods. Then you can just go and support them if you're interested in this kind of product. And I can see that the price is about $9. It's not very expensive. So do support the developer also. So the purpose of my video is to show that if you have an idea for a script, you can use AI tools such as Bing AI or ChatGPT, which allows you to generate such scripts that you can use to improve your workflow. So that's it for my tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.